It's the Date Master, and we're back. Fellas, we're going to get into some more of the psychological dynamics of why you get the reactions that you get from women. There is an innate, this is on both sides, but this is more so on women, and this is how they expose their nature. They have an innate fear of role reversal. So when I say that, I mean, when you look at the dynamics when we talk about cheating, they expect everything to be across the board. They react to things in a similar fashion that we would react to, such as cheating, uh, being financially successful, just being in certain positions of power. Now, I want you to think about when you watch these reactions from women when they say, well, I'm going to cheat too. Or if he's going to do this, then I'm going to do that. Women tell on themselves by reacting in such a manner to things that are not akin to how we look at them. For instance, if we cheat, it's like us taking a piss. They look at us cheating in the same fashion they look at themselves cheating. When women cheat and when women do certain things and go certain places, they have an agenda. I tell you guys this all the time. A woman does not go anywhere or do anything without having at least one or two, at minimum one agenda outside of the initial plan. So if they're going to Miami, it's just not to go to Miami. If they're going to Atlanta, they're going out for drinks, it's just not to go out for drinks. All of this is preparatory work that's necessary for the bottom line to be met. So when you say, well, I'm going to deal with other women, they say, well, I'm going to deal with other women as well, other men as well. They react a certain way, or when they get angry, they look at it through their eyes. They look at everything through a female lens, which is delusional and full of emotion. It's emotionally charged. So women don't want men to have certain pleasures and privileges that they don't get, even though they get way more privilege than a man gets. A woman can be homeless, can work at McDonald's, work bottom job, low end lifestyle, and still get taken care of and still have sanctuary. However, a man cannot. So the role reversal that you see women try to play is indicative of how they would act and behave in said positions of power. If they were in a polygamous relationship, which you see a lot of this now, you see a lot of women talking about they're with the poly. I'm in these poly groups, right? And I see these women, I mean, so blissfully and so excited to say that they're dealing with multiple men and how their men responds and behaves with them being, in these poly situations. And as a man, if you're in basically an open relationship, if you're in a poly relationship with a woman where she gets to do what she wants with other men, you're a fool. You're a fool, you're beta, and you're bottom shelf. A man of value is not going to share his woman. This role reversal is fueled by the indoctrination of Western society. They made it this way in order to maintain a certain economic order. They manipulate the women, and indoctrinate the women because they know that's how you can control the men and the children. You have these women having babies with men and 3 weeks later filing for divorce, filing for separation, breaking up with them, etc., etc. So when the men reverses the mindset back, all of this confusion starts to come about. You start to see, I don't get that. That. See, this is what we deal with. This is what you're going to be dealing with. So understand, when you flip the script on a woman, she's going to respond based upon how she would behave or how she is behaving in said positions of power. She wants to be the man in the relationship. These women are walking away from relationships very easily today. in today's time. You look at Tyson Chandler, Kevin Garnett, all of these men, Emmitt Smith, all of these athletes, whether what and sports do not play a role. They are still high value males who have a social status. They have a legacy in the profession that they played. They have respect amongst their peers. Yet these women treat them like they're nothing. The moment you fulfill your duty to them. That's why I say if you don't have a duty or a role for the woman that's in your life, you're going to lose. You'll lose because she's going to have too much idle time because you're taking the load off. You're paying all the bills. She doesn't have to work. She has little to no responsibility in the relationship. Keeping your house clean, I mean, come on. Making you dinner, no. They want to use the traditions of old when they're not really the women of old. These are not traditional women, but they want you to have the traditional respect, the traditional chivalry, and the traditional mindset of the older male generation, even though their behavior is contradictory to that. Talking about their body count doesn't matter. What? And I see simps talking about a woman's body count doesn't matter. Yeah, you could come to me with all kind of baggage and shit from those nothing ass dudes. I'm gonna, as long as my dick fit, simp beta shit. You got guys saying she can come to you however she comes to you as long as his dick fits. Beta as fuck. We have no standards. When you start to put this rhetoric out, other women will see this and say, well, he said I can come to him any kind of way as long as it's tight enough for him. What kind of shit, what kind of men are we breeding in today's society? What kind of man says it doesn't matter how a woman comes to him as long as his dick can fit? A low value male. A low value male with no standards and no value of himself. The fear of not being in power is the forefront of the issues that we face in our relationships in today's society, in Western society, because everybody has been made equal, but women innately know that they're not equal to men. They know they have social constructs and social ideologies that support this mindset, but it doesn't translate into reality. When shit pops off or when danger happens, women go into feminine mode. They get scared and docile, but they were just independent and didn't need a man for shit until they need a man for the real shit. You're going to be noticing again spikes in violence, spikes in divorce, spikes in a lot of disruptive behavior from women because they're going to melt down by option overload. They have an abundance of options. They have an abundance of beta male orbiters telling them too many different things. One minute they're saying their woman is God. The next minute they're saying, baby, you don't have to work. If I'm fucking you, you're my responsibility. We have all these different notions that do not translate into reality. You do not commit to a woman must commit to you and your purpose. This is why relationships are failing. Men are not dominant. Men are willingly going into relationships to share power because it also comes with sharing responsibility. A lot of men say, I'm gonna get a job. I don't want to go 50-50 with the woman. Her half doesn't come from financial. Her half comes from being feminine, submissive, fit, beautiful, and supportive and loyal. The most important trait of them all. That's where her 50% comes in. I don't want her money. Because if a woman has to give you her money and her loyalty, she's not going to give you both. You're not going to get a woman's money and loyalty simultaneously. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, this doesn't fit everyone. Some men are looking and saying, hey, these women have to pay a fee. Yes, they have to pay a fee by bringing you opportunity. A woman's influence is how you have to know. A lot of you guys don't even know how to use the woman that's in your life other than having her lay on her back. That's all you guys care about is getting your dick wet. You don't understand how to use her beauty for your benefit. You don't understand how to use her personality to gain access into certain circles and networks. You guys are just out here dick happy. And you're telling these women lies. You're telling these women too many lies to ensure that you get that dick wet, and it disrupts the ecosystem. This is where we are. Bottom shelf beta males have corrupted the dating market to where you have a woman that's a 4 at best thinking she's a dime. You have women that are 4s at best thinking they're dimes. Role reversal is it is the quintessential element to disrupting relationships and the male-female dynamic. And society and mainstream media has learned this and has played this movie and has implemented these strategies for the last 70 years. And we're just now catching up to this. If you're not in the position of power, you will be ruled. If you're not ruled by the woman's manipulation, you'll be ruled by your own lust and thirst. The thirsty male is, I see all type of videos, men groping women, filming them, all type of shit. It can't be that serious. Risking their life and freedom to get their rocks off. And they're not even really getting their rocks off. Risking their life and freedom to get their rocks off, and they're not even getting their rocks off. Do not let women switch this role or play this role reversal game with you and trick you into thinking that you're both equal, because you're not. And that's where her fear comes from, because she knows what she would do in your position. She knows what she's doing in her position. These women play a mean game of lying and masking and catfishing their physical as well as their personality. These women are not who they say they are on social media. You must read between the lines. You must look for what's not being said and what's not being posted versus what's being said and what's being posted. Or you will have game ran on you 100 times and you will be frustrated and you'll pretty much walk away from the dating scene and go into a hermit lifestyle. If that's what you want to do, then fine, be my guest. But for those that, want to deal with women, always deal with them from a position of power and understand the moment they try to switch roles, it is a deflection tactic, because they know what they would do in that position and they know what they have done in that position. It's the Date Master.